Most wine drinkers know Napa Cabs, but in Eastern Washington, Cabernet wines were quietly built that rival the best in America. And one winery helped shape that story from the very beginning. Dunham Cellars, founded by the Dunham family where their son Eric became the winemaker, having learned the craft at La Cole 41, one of the Valley's pioneering wineries.
Got hired by Marty Club at La Cole and worked there for 5 years, which is a mile from where I grew up and went to school there in 6th grade. So he worked there the whole time, starting at the bottom and then got to assistant winemaker at La Cole. When Eric wanted to start a winery, he couldn't do it by himself, so we decided to retire from our insurance business with Northwestern Mutual. And Mike was the finance guy and I was a facility person and Eric was a winemaker. And it was, it was fun. We were small, really small, like 200 cases. We did our own everything. For bottling, we hand filled and hand labeled and hand corked and waxed because we didn't have a foiler.
Dunham became the 9th winery in Walla Walla in the mid-1990s. Napa already had the world's attention, while Walla Walla had a handful of wineries and a belief in what this place could become.
He came home and saw this big dog tearing up this little puppy. Eric stopped it and took him to the vet, and the vet said, it's either amputate it, can't fix it, or put him down because, who knows who he belongs to. So Eric assumed a $1,000 dog. Wow. So we fell in love with him because we were taking care of him. He was a really sweetheart. So Eric comes back to work at La Cole and he wants his dog back. It's like, really? I mean, we didn't think he would do that. So he took his dog and he was at La Cole with him for 5 years, sitting at the front porch, just waiting for people to come in. So when we moved here, same thing here. And he was just that little guy out there waiting for people to come to the front door.
Sometimes you learn more about a person through one small story than 100 accomplishments. Long before port became one of Washington wine's most recognizable labels, he was simply a badly injured puppy Eric refused to leave behind.
So at that point, we had Dunham Cab. It was $45. So we thought we needed probably an entry line wine that would be a little bit more affordable. So we were going to do a red table wine. So the marketing committee was just the 3 of us because we didn't have a marketing committee. And so we go, okay, we're going to put on a label. And Eric goes, everybody likes my dog, so let's just put port on the label. And we refreshed it about 4 years ago, and just keeping them alive.
The future of Dunham would be tested in ways no business plan could anticipate.
There's no blueprint. You just end up, we're all human, and we're a small family-run business. So anytime something tragic affects a family, you just become that much tighter and bond together and get through it together. You're dealing with your own grief while also trying to be empathetic to everyone else's grief. But really, we just all leaned on each other. None of us, with Eric's passing especially, no one expected it. And we all had to really rely on each other, like the family that we are. Huge hole in all of our hearts. And time kind of stood still when we all got that news. Rob, our current winemaker, had worked under Eric, worked under Dan, and so knew what they liked to do, knew what the style was, and was able to honor that. Mike and Eric left us an amazing legacy.
We're the same as Bordeaux and Burgundy. We're in between the two. So we have a huge advantage of just our place on the earth, of where we are. We get a lot of sunshine. We have like 300 days of sunshine.
Long summer days build ripeness. Cool nights preserve structure. The result is a Cabernet with both power and depth that can compete globally.
And then we've got our flagship wine, our Columbia Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. This is the Roman numeral 27, wow. So 27th vintage of Cab. I had to double check that. Started in 1995 with Roman numeral 1. This is our homage to, obviously, Cab is king. It's one of the greatest grapes in the world, and we think Washington Cabernet Sauvignon can compete with anyone on the world stage. And it's what we think is the best representation of what the state can offer. And it's what put us on the map. Lewis Vineyard is the vineyard that we've been working with the longest. Eric Dunham really identified it early on as a site that he thought had amazing potential, and it has proven to be our workhorse throughout our 30 years. Great site. This particular one is our Cabernet Sauvignon. And so yeah, as opposed to the green label, now you're dealing with one specific site, one specific profile. I find Lewis wines to be very smooth and rich. They can really have some amazing fruit qualities. They all have this underlying cola, cherry cola quality to them. And we only make about 8 barrels of this a year. So it's our most special bottling that we do. And we obviously honor it with Eric's artwork. And we use different artwork every year. One of the blessings, I guess, that came out of Eric's passing was that he had given a lot of his artwork to friends and family that we didn't know existed. And after he passed, people brought their artwork to us and said, we want you guys to use this for your artist series.
Eric's art, Eric's spirit, Eric's being basically carries on. That wine, that Lewis Vineyard wine, I think especially with the Cab, as you said, it is smooth, it is rich, but boy, the aging on that wine. We just had not too long ago, in 2008, and it was still powerful in flavor, but there were all these other layers of flavors that came through that really lifted that entire wine up. That seems to just continue to climb as it goes on with the years.
Absolutely.
So there's still new art being revealed through that wine.
There you go.
If you wait.
One vineyard became especially important, Lewis Vineyard. Located in Washington's Yakima Valley, it wasn't part of Walla Walla, but Eric recognized its potential early, just as he saw potential in Walla Walla itself. The vineyard would go on to help define Dunham's Cabernet style, defining his legacy.
I think it's a Walla Walla community feeling. We have a saying in the wine industry specifically, we call it co-opetition, where we're all competing, but we all cooperate as well. And I truly think that's one of the magic ingredients of Walla Walla. Yes, we're all out there trying to sell wine, but we're all also trying to get better at what we do, whether that's growing grapes or making wine in the cellar. We're all very comfortable sharing with each other because ultimately we're all on Team Walla Walla. We all want to see Walla Walla succeed.
You've just seen how early family wineries like Dunham helped shape Walla Walla into one of America's great wine regions. Now let's take you across the Snake River to Hell's Canyon Winery, where a young couple fresh out of culinary school discovered the wine culture of France and brought that inspiration home to Idaho nearly 50 years ago, helping lay the foundation for another remarkable wine region that many wine lovers have yet to discover.